Are you constantly second guessing your workouts, your diet, and your routine because you think it might not be optimal? You're not alone, but chasing optimal may be the exact thing holding you back. The truth is, you don't need the perfect plan to create incredible results. And in this video, I'm going to show you why chasing optimal can be destroying your confidence, your consistency, and ultimately, your results. So here's the thing, everywhere I look nowadays, everyone's talking about what's the most optimal way to do things. And hell, I use the word optimal a lot in my videos too. But the thing is, optimal does not mean necessary, and it's often chasing this illusion of perfection that keeps you stuck because you fall into the all or nothing mindset, feeling like I can't be perfect, so what's the point? Hell, you might not even start because you get caught up in paralysis by analysis. So what I want to do now is give you some examples of things that I would consider to be optimal for results, but also explain why it's not really necessary and what you should focus more of your attention on. For instance, protein timing. I personally think if you want to get the best possible results, you want to roughly evenly split your protein into 4 different servings, spread out maybe about 4 to 5 hours apart, and if possible too, making one of those meals before your workout and also after your workout. But that doesn't mean if you don't slam a protein shake as soon as your workout's done that it's a waste. The majority of your results you're going to get is by hitting your total protein, which for what it's worth, if you're in a phallus phase, I recommend around about 1 gram per pound of whatever your goal weight is, or if you're not, at least around your kind of lean body mass. You can do more, it's totally fine. But either way, as long as you're hitting that for the day, whether you do it in 2 meals, 3 meals, 4 meals, 5 meals, it's not going to make a massive difference. What about macro splits? If I was to determine what I thought to be the most optimal way to do things, again, you're going to have around 1 gram per pound of whatever your goal weight is for protein. Then I recommend about 20 to 30% of your calories to come from fat and the rest to come from carbs. But ultimately, I say it all the time, whether you prefer more carbs or more fat really doesn't matter, especially when it comes to fat loss. There's tons of research on this, and it just makes it so much easier to stay on plan and gives you so much more freedom in your diet if you're not stressing out about hitting perfect macros every single day. It's probably most optimal to eat the majority of your food from nutrient-dense foods, a lot of clean foods and not including much junk in your diet. But if you try to restrict everything you love and you end up binging on it because of it, well then that's not going to get you great results, and you can absolutely see fantastic results including junk food in your diet. You just want to do it in moderation. I think it's most optimal to train 4 to 5 days per week, hitting each muscle group twice per week, but that doesn't mean if you train 2 or 3 days per week you can't get results. No, you absolutely can. You can get great results as long as you're consistent and do it for long periods of time. The main point is there's a big difference between doing everything you can to get the absolute best possible results and what's necessary to get results. So it kind of depends on what your goals are, what's most important to you. Like if you're a bodybuilder who plans on doing it for years and years and you want to get an edge on your competitors as much as possible, even doing something that's just a couple percent more optimal compounded for a decade worth of training, you know what? That can probably make a difference. But if you're just the average person trying to get in shape, well then you don't have to stress out so much about trying to be so perfect. And my videos aren't geared towards competitors. I mean, I've competed before, but I don't consider myself a bodybuilder or anything. I don't know that I'll ever do it again, but I know what it's like. I went through the process and I was really spot on because I didn't want to have any regrets that I didn't do everything I could, knowing that it might be the only time I ever compete. So I was hitting my macros to the T. I was on top of everything the whole time, but I also got really burnt out from it by the end. So if you can get like 95% of the progress without majoring in the minor and focusing so much on the tiny little details, why get so stressed out about every little thing just because it's not optimal? Now, with that being said, if you are someone who wants to do everything you can to create the absolute perfect plan, then what I want you to do is check out this video next, and it's going to go over the perfect way to get the best possible results. So check that out next, and I'll see you in that other video.